Once you've launched SoloStats Live, this is the home screen that you'll see. You'll see two large blue buttons, the Capture Stats button at the top and the Reports Insight and Live Broadcast button at the bottom. You notice that the upper one says free. The app download itself is free, and you can actually capture as many stats for as many teams as you want completely free. Now, to see reports, you have to go to the premium web services and subscribe. When you first start out, you'll get 30 days for free. So you can try this product and see if you like it before you make a full commitment. Okay, so let's set up for capturing, and so let's tap the Capture Stats button at the top. All right, and now we're going to set up our team. So over the upper right in orange, you'll see the New button. We'll press that, and then we'll start entering the roster. So let's start up at the top. We'll say that number 14 is Megan. All right, and then we'll move to the next one and say number 13 is Kat. All right, and so forth. So that's the process to fill it out. We won't fill this whole thing out for now, but you get the idea. We'll cancel this out, and then we'll go to one that's already set up, this base 16 red. Okay, and now to go to the first match, we'll press the match button, and it'll take us to the matches page, and then we'll hit the purple new button to start a new match. Let's enter some opponent names. So we'll call this opponent blue 16, excuse me, 16-2. Okay, and then the venue will be Reno, and the tournament will be the Far Westerns, right? And the court number is 34. Okay, so we're done with that part. This is not a league match, so we'll switch that to non-league, and of course this is away. Okay, and then the date and times, you can adjust those as necessary, but you can preset this up for games beforehand when you know who your opponents are going to be, say, a day in advance, right? So we'll press save. Now, here's some capture tips. The first one is really important to turn on the do not disturb so that you don't have messages, email notifications, or text messages interrupting you while you're taking stats. And the second one is shutting down apps that you're not using. There's a tendency to have just a pile of apps running in the background, and this tends to slow down the performance of any app. So it's a good idea to just turn those off. Okay, so we'll click OK. Now to start our first game, press the Game 1 button. All right, and now we're in the setup page. This is somewhat similar to SoloStats 123 Classic, but we've got some additional extensions. So let's go through that. The first thing is who's serving. So in this case, they will be serving. We'll be starting in rotation 1, and we'll be using United States rotation numbering and not the international one. Okay. And now the new thing is this lineup setup. You can actually name your lineup and save that and reuse it, which makes it really much quicker when you're setting up your team for the next game. All right, so we'll press the lineup setup button, and we'll call this starters. Let's see, A, just as a name. Okay, and we're done. And now we'll designate our setters. We're running a 6-2, and so the first setter is number 9, and the second setter is number 11. Number 11 is going to be setting in rotations 4, 5, and 6. And the reason we're doing this is because this automatically assigns your assists. So when your hitter makes a kill in rotation 1, then setter number 9 will get the assist. If your hitter makes a kill in number 5, rotation 5, setter number 11 will get the assist automatically. Okay. The next one is libero, so we can have two liberos. In this case, we'll use number 22 and number 19 as our liberos. Okay. So now we're ready to set up our servers. This is in a rotation order. So in rotation 1 is the first setter, number 9, and rotation 2 is our outside hitter, number 4. Rotation 3 is the libero subbing for the middle blocker, so this is number 22 serving. And in rotation 4, it's the other setter, number 11. Rotation 5 is the other outside hitter, number 55. And finally, in rotation 6 is the last server is, rotation 6 server is number 3. Okay? So this is all ready to go. And in fact, you'll notice that in this particular instance, because we're starting in rotation 1 receive, the first server will be the outside hitter in rotation 2. All right, next we'll set up our buttons that we'll be using to select the players. So let's go starters and subs. And now the active players, there'll be 6 on the court. We want to keep the most active of the active players, the outside hitters, close to the bottom where your thumbs are, and it makes it very, very fast and easy to reach these. So number 55 and number 4 at the bottom. And then it's followed by the setter, who is number 9, is over here. And then number 28 is the opposite. Okay. And then number 3 is one of the two middles. Number 25 is the other one. Right. So now the active players, the starters, are on the court. And now we want to position our substitutes. And it's best to put them next to the person they're going to be subbing for. So let's start out with the libero, who will be subbing for number 3. And then we want number 7, the opposite, next to number 9. And then we'll move this player down, and we'll put the S2, number 11, over there. Right? And then we'll move number 18 next to the outside hitters in case we need her if one of the two outsides is having a problem. Okay, so we'll save this, right? And then we'll save this entire setup. And we'll go to the capture screen here. Okay, so now this is how the screen looks, and you notice that the big blue buttons are the starters, right? So we got the outside hitters at the bottom, setter and opposite in the middle, and the middles at the top. Okay. So now once you've checked in and the line is checked in properly, then you can move your libero onto the court. So we'll tap number 22, right? And so she's highlighted, and she's got the L1 libero marker. The R3 is her rotation that she's going to be serving in, and we're going to tap number 3 and sub with her. So you notice they flip-flop there, right? And that's how that works. All these little circular designations, the green ones are for the setters, and the blue ones are the rotation in which the given player will be serving. And they will turn to red when it's our serve. Right now the score is 0-0, and you notice the little red dot in the them 0 button there is the indication that they are serving. Okay. Every one of these particular buttons is clickable, so you can tap that and then change the serve, who's serving, and what the score is if you need to make an adjustment. You can add your timeouts here by tapping that. You can adjust your subs by tapping subs in case you made an incorrect substitution, and then you can adjust your rotation. Okay, so everything's adjustable there. The other part is the undo button, right? So you got the undo button, which will undo the last thing that you put in. The replay button, which will undo all the way back to the beginning of the point. So let's say you had about 5 touches and you get a ball on, the referee calls a replay, just hit the replay button and you're ready to go. Okay, and the one in between is called adjust last entry, which will just move you back 1 entry, and you'll see how it works in a second here, but it won't undo the player that you've selected. It's a real quick way to make an adjustment in case you assign the wrong stat to a given player. Now you also notice that the libero button is lit up at the bottom here, so now you can touch this and that'll select the libero who's at the top. I'm going to cancel that and go back. Okay. But that's a shorthand so that no matter where your libero is, you just have to tap that button at the bottom in order to get to them. So the 3 most active players, the libero, number 55, right, the H2, and number 4, the H1, are all at the bottom, very easy for your thumb to reach and to take those stats. Okay, so we're basically ready to go. You notice at the top here in the last entry, you see that we just subbed in the libero for the middle blocker, but of course the sub count is 0 because of course liberos don't count. So now we're ready for our stat process, and let's begin the next step.